Hey everyone, welcome back to ZenExplains. Today we're diving into some harsh realities about survival in extreme situations. You'll be surprised how many things we've all heard that seem like the right move, but could actually make things a whole lot worse when it counts. From battling the heat in the desert to surviving a rip current at the beach, we're going to break down some of the most common survival myths and the real dangers behind them. So sit back, get ready to learn something life-saving, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more content like this. Number 9. In extreme heat, especially in the desert, water is limited. Your instinct tells you to ration it, but that instinct could end up killing you faster than running out ever would. Your body relies on water to produce sweat, and sweat is what keeps you cool. Without water, you can't sweat, and without sweat, your body temperature climbs uncontrollably. In an attempt to preserve a few sips, you're literally cooking yourself from the inside out. Water is also essential for your kidneys to function. If you deprive them, they'll fail. Once that happens, your blood can no longer rid itself of toxins. You're poisoning yourself while your full water bottles sit there untouched. The cruel irony? People often die from heat stroke while still having water left in their packs, thinking they were being smart by saving it for later. But there's no later when your organs are shutting down in the present. Without water, your blood becomes thicker, forcing your heart to work harder to pump it through your veins. Your brain becomes overwhelmed and overheats, leading to confusion. You'll make poor choices, like straying off the path, all because you were trying to make that precious water last a little longer. The truth is simple: drink the water. Survive long enough to find more, because that saved bottle won't do you any good if you're already dead. Number 8. Imagine you've got a small cut on your arm, and your friend pulls out a belt, tightening it to the point where blood flow is cut off. In that moment, they've just started a countdown that could lead to you losing that arm. Tourniquets are the last resort for severe bleeding, not the go-to for minor injuries. It's like using a sledgehammer to kill a fly. By cutting off blood flow, that belt is essentially killing everything below it. No blood means no oxygen, and no oxygen means the tissue is dying. After about 15 minutes, the nerves start to die off. In 2 hours, permanent damage sets in. 4 hours, and you're looking at losing the entire limb. What your buddy turned into a simple band-aid situation could end up being an amputation because they went overboard with the tourniquet. During the Civil War, more soldiers lost their limbs to poorly applied tourniquets than to the injuries from gunshots. They survived the bullet but lost the arm because someone got a bit too eager with a rope. The real danger is what happens when that tourniquet comes off. The death of tissue generates toxins, and when the blood starts flowing again, those toxins flood your system. Your kidneys now have to work overtime trying to filter out the poison from your own dead arm. You went from needing a small bandage to needing dialysis. If you are here with me, please type 8 in the comments. Number 7. Picture this. You're swimming when a storm suddenly rolls in. The sky cracks with lightning, and you might think diving underwater will keep you safe. Well, congratulations, you've just volunteered to become nature's experiment. Water is an excellent conductor of electricity, like a highway is to cars. When lightning strikes, the electrical current doesn't just hit the spot, it spreads across the entire surface like a network of death. And guess what? You, being the tallest thing in the water, are now the perfect target, a human lightning rod. The electricity stays near the surface, right where you need to breathe. Sure, you can dive deep to escape it, but you'll have to come back up for air eventually. And when you do, you're resurfacing straight into an electric field that could stop your heart. Even if you manage to get out of the water, you're soaked, and that makes you the perfect conductor from head to toe. The water dripping off your body is like wearing a suit of live wires. You're actually more inviting to lightning now than when you were just swimming around. The fish down deep are fine, but you're up there exposed, playing with 300 million volts. A nearby strike and that electricity will rush through the water straight toward you. It'll seize your muscles, stop your heart, and just like that, game over. Number 6. So you're lost in the wilderness and desperate for clean water. You remember that hack about boiling water in plastic bottles? Well, congratulations, you've just set yourself up for a slow poisoning. Plastic starts breaking down at just 80 joules, and water boils at 100 joules. Before the water is even hot enough to kill bacteria, the bottle is already leaching toxic chemicals into it. BPA, phthalates, antimony. Basically, you're brewing a chemical cocktail. At first glance, the bottle might seem perfectly fine, but that's the trick. The chemicals leak out in ways you can't even see. By the time the plastic starts to warp, you've already created a toxic brew. Those survival experts you see on YouTube, most of them aren't drinking the water once they've boiled it. There was a guy up in Alaska who tried it. Thought he was being clever, boiling creek water in his plastic bottle over a campfire. 3 days later, he was doubled over in stomach cramps, crawling back to civilization, regretting that decision. The worst part? Those chemicals don't just make you sick in the moment, they linger in your body. They mess with your hormones, your liver, your kidneys. You make it through the wilderness, only to poison yourself little by little in the process. If you are here with me, please type 6 in the comments. Number 5. Imagine you've got a deep cut and there's no hospital nearby. You recall hearing that superglue can be used on wounds. Vietnam soldiers used it, right? Well, here's the reality when you apply that tube of glue. As superglue comes into contact with your blood, it triggers a chemical reaction that's so intense, it generates enough heat to cook meat. That burning feeling, it's your wound being cauterized from the inside. But it doesn't end there. The quick seal that seemed like a lifesaver is now a breeding ground for bacteria. All the germs from your dirty knife and hands are trapped inside, creating a sealed environment where bacteria thrive. With no air, the harmful ones flourish. To make things worse, the glue contains formaldehyde, the very substance used in embalming corpses, and now it's entering your bloodstream. Your liver is left trying to figure out why it's processing a toxic chemical while you're still alive. Once infection sets in, you'll have to remove that hardened glue, but peeling superglue off skin is hard enough. Now imagine it's fused with scabs and infected tissue. What seemed like a quick fix has turned into a painful nightmare. Number 4. Picture yourself stranded on a beach, starving and desperate. You spot some shellfish and think you've just discovered a free meal. But what you're actually looking at is nature's version of a deadly gamble. These small creatures act as the ocean's filters, taking in everything that floats by, including invisible deadly toxins known as marine toxins. The shellfish aren't bothered by them, but your body certainly will be. You can't see, smell, or taste these toxins. The shellfish may look flawless, smell fresh from the sea, and taste fine until you feel a strange tingling in your lips. That sensation isn't flavor, it's your nervous system beginning to shut down. The tingling spreads to your fingers and toes, and soon your muscles start weakening. The worst part, you remain fully aware throughout the entire experience. Your mind stays sharp as your body gradually loses control. You're forced to watch yourself struggle for breath as your body stops obeying. Think cooking will help? These toxins are immune to heat, withstanding temperatures that would melt metal. Just one contaminated shellfish, and it's over. No second chances, no cure. Just you alone on a beach, succumbing to a meal you thought would save you. Number 3. Imagine your buddy is shivering uncontrollably after falling through ice. You get him inside and think that a hot bath will do the trick. Hold on, you're about to make things much worse. When someone's body is freezing, it has a survival instinct. It pulls warm blood to the core to protect vital organs like the heart. Meanwhile, the arms and legs are left with ice-cold blood that's essentially frozen in place. Now, when you suddenly plunge them into hot water, those blood vessels expand rapidly, opening the floodgates. All that frigid blood from the limbs rushes straight to the heart. It's like dumping ice-cold water directly into their chest. This sudden shock can cause the heart to beat erratically or even stop. This is called after drop. Ironically, their core temperature actually decreases after you try to warm them up. They were cold, but now, thanks to your well-meaning hot bath, they're closer to death. The real solution, warm them up gradually, like defrosting frozen food, not like you're trying to microwave it. Number 2. You're in Texas and an alligator locks eyes with you. Instinctively, you think zigzagging will help because that's what you've always heard. Well, congratulations, you've just made yourself an easier target. Here's why zigzagging doesn't work. It slows you down. Every time you change direction, you lose precious speed. Meanwhile, that alligator, a master of quick movement, can pivot effortlessly, almost like a sports car. These ancient predators can reach speeds of 11 mph in short bursts. And unlike you, they don't need to slow down when they turn while you're fumbling through your zigzag dance. The gator is calculating its next move, tracking a straight line to intercept you. It's simple physics. You're covering extra distance, tiring yourself out, while the alligator is calculating angles like a pool player lining up a shot. The reality is, gators don't often chase humans on land. But if one does decide you look like dinner, forget all the zigzagging. Just run straight and fast. That so-called zigzag technique will only make you the slowest, easiest meal that gator has ever caught. Number 1. You're enjoying a perfect beach day when, out of nowhere, the ocean pulls you in like an invisible hand, dragging you further out to sea. That's a rip current. These underwater currents move faster than Olympic swimmers, about 8 mph of raw ocean power pulling you away from the shore. Naturally, your first instinct is to fight it and swim back to safety. But that's the exact mistake that leads to tragedy. Trying to fight a rip current is like arm wrestling the ocean. It's a battle you can't win. In just minutes, your arms turn to jelly, your legs lose all strength, and your lungs feel like they're on fire. Most people don't drown because they're swept out to sea. They drown because they exhausted themselves trying to beat the relentless force of nature, pushing against a current that won't let go. And that's a wrap for today's survival tips here on ZenExplains, the truth behind myths that could save your life when it matters most. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss out on future tips. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one.